Hello, this is Trading with Confidence, and I'm John Breland. Today, I want to share with you an email that I wrote back in January of this year. Excuse me. And the email is titled The Great Crypto Capitulation of 2022. And I sent a chart to my younger brother at that time when Bitcoin was at 41,774. Well, 41,714, excuse me. And I wrote, I would highly advise you to not invest in ways where you require Bitcoin or alts to move up. What we will be witnessing is the great crypto capitulation of 2022, in my opinion, and we are halfway there. And then I go on to talk about getting a margin account so I could short cryptos, which unfortunately I was not successful at doing, even though I tried various ways to do it. So I relegated myself just to buy the dips and take my trades, take my profits really quickly. And it worked in some cases. In other cases, it didn't work. But anyway, that's another story. And of course, if you don't know by now, uh, Bitcoin actually achieved 20K and bounced hard right here. So then the question is, how did I really know that? And I mean, there are many influencers out there that on the way down, they're giving reasons to be long. Um, I won't name the influencers, but several come to my mind. Very famous ones, very popular with thousands of followers, maybe even tens or hundreds of thousands of followers, and they were giving reasons to go long all the way down. And I would write in their Twitter accounts, no, we're hitting 20. And people would say, no, it's going to go to 35. And okay, so how did I know 20? Okay, how did I know 20? Well, because the reason I knew 20 was because, first of all, this is the monthly chart. Okay. The surge oscillator, which I've learned to trust with my life pretty much, and which has taught me great lessons on how the market operates, was giving me a classic. Well, maybe I shouldn't say classic because the surge oscillator is new. But for me, it was a classic signal to short right here. At least right at this bar here after this bar closed. So this is when I wrote the email after I knew that we were going to do it, because it takes some time to think of what you want to say, and you have to do it off hours, and so I did it like a week or two after I knew about it. And um, and I said, and I wrote that email saying I'm expecting this to go to 20K. So the monthly chart, the monthly chart, that for these signals to develop, it takes a lot of time. Okay, um, it takes time for this to produce the signals. So this particular signal here, this is how many days is this? This is how many months is this? It took from the start of this move here. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 months, which is about right. It's about a 15 period or so. So it's a 14-month move. And so I figured we were going to have another large move like that, possibly 14 months. And by that time, it's plenty of time to get back down to the 20K. And the second reason was because this is classic market theory, that the market, once so basically its resistance becomes support, right? This was resistance. We passed right through resistance. We sliced right through it, and resistance becomes support. So the market fell right back down to support, and now it's bouncing off of it. So I mean, it can't get more classic than that. And um, the only reason I think people were saying, you know, these influencers were saying, keep buying. These are good buy positions, right? Even some of the big uh, institutions were talking about these areas being, buy areas, right? And I was thinking, well, maybe it could be true, maybe it could be true, but my analysis was here at 20 as I wrote. Uh, so I'm proud of this. I'm proud of this forecast that I made, but really a lot of it has to do what how I was what I learned from the surge oscillator. The surge oscillator was the key oscillation patterns that made me discover what to expect from the markets, and it's been just a godsend for me, and it's transformed me into a profitable trader. Of course, there's more than having a good signal system. That's very, very important. But there's more to trading than having. There's psychology. There's how you place your stops and so on and so forth. But when it comes to the knowing what to expect next, it is I can't I have not been able to see anything better out there personally. Okay, and I've looked at a lot of things. There's nothing that I've seen that's better. Now, you don't have to have this oscillator to be a successful trader, because there are successful traders that don't know anything about this. And that's fine. That's fine. But it really does help to understand what's happening next in the market. Anyway, so that said, what is next? So what's going to happen after now? Well, until I see a signal here, it's really hard to know. Now, I know I said 20K was my target, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to bounce from 20 and just go up. Even though right now it really does feel like we have finally achieved what the market was trying to do this whole time. And I strongly feel 20K was a very good entry to get in for the future. But I think what we're actually going to see is something that looks like this. Now, this is the Wall Street cheat sheet. And if you look at this, it's very similar to what Bitcoin looks like right now. It shot way up, it achieved a high, came back down, a lower high, and then shot back down again. So I think that we're likely down in these areas here. Now, if you look at altcoins look almost exactly like this. They're almost down to their very beginning of when they started. I mean, it looks like they've been killed, and this is kind of what this looks like. It looks like the whole market has just died down here. But after something like this happens, there's a lot of anger, um, and it takes a lot of time for people to get to basically to get trust in the market again. And when it starts to rally, there's still very little trust in the market because of what had just happened. So, I mean, if you look back here, this event occurred, right? This is very similar to what this looks like. It peaked, it came down, it kind of just languished for a while, and then finally it started to move up again. So, um, so that's one thing. It takes a while to get trust. It also takes a while for development to occur. Technical developments to occur, and then it takes a while for people to arrange capital to get back into the markets. So I'm not really expecting anything. I'm not expecting this to bounce right away, even though it's possible. Because of the shock. I think a lot of people are staying away from crypto for a while, and so it'll probably do something kind of it'll bounce around here. Now, in this case, it may not. It may. It may actually go up a little bit and then maybe to this level here, come down, and I mean, it doesn't make sense that it's going to bounce flat. It's probably going to go up to this level here and come back down and do another test of 20K, kind of languish. It's going to, I think it's going to look something like this, right? It's going to try to go up a little bit and then languish some more, which is very similar to what happened here. It went down, it shot up a little bit, and languish some more. So I think that's something like this is likely going to happen based on the psychology of of people trading the markets. But eventually, I think it's going to at least go back up to this level. And so the reason I say it's going to go back up to this level, because it's a rule in the markets that I've discovered from observing how the markets act in relationship to the surge. Okay, I've noticed that these secondary moves, like for example, this was a move up, down, and the secondary move up, and then we have this piece of the market here where it moves down, moves up, and a secondary move down. These secondary moves get retraced almost like 90% of the time. It's just how markets work. And so I'm expecting the market to at some point trade back up to that level. It's going to trade back up to the $45,000 level. Okay, when it's going to happen is hard to say. Here it took almost a year before it finally did it. Is it probably maybe a little bit more than a year before it finally retraced back? So maybe sometime next year, earlier next year or something. Um, and again, once it does a retrace, it has accomplished its goal. So I'm in a sense saying that this is the new goal here. Once it accomplishes its goal, is going to retrace back, because this is going to produce some kind of Z here. It's going to retrace back in the part that was oh, this was not right here. It's going to retrace back as a Z was created here, and then it's going to settle down likely and continue to go up. This is kind of how I'm thinking about it. Of course, if you juxtapose this over the actual market data, it'll probably be very, very wrong. But the general rule is that this is going to get retraced up to 40, 43 or 44 or so. And then from there, it's just a matter of looking at the profiles and finding out what's going to do. But I do think that Bitcoin, by its very nature, is going to continue to go up. So yeah, so that's what I'm expecting, and I don't have much more to say other than that. And I hope this video has helped you, and leave a comment. Thank you very much. Bye.